We are the Virellians, an ancient species that has walked among the stars since long before most galaxies had formed their second moons. We are creatures of reason, of numbers, of logic. We pride ourselves on our intellect, our diplomacy, our ability to calculate every outcome before a decision is made. Emotion was once a biological relic we discarded as inefficient. In our long interstellar history, we have encountered over 900 species. We cataloged them all, their behaviors, their structures, their wars. When we met the humans, we thought them unremarkable. They were small in number, loud in speech, and utterly chaotic in emotion. Their history was littered with war, rebellion, contradiction, and passion. They cried when they were happy. They laughed when they were afraid. We labeled them unpredictable, and therefore dangerous. But everything changed the day the Zarn invaded Alaris Prime. Alaris was not a military base, nor a strategic colony. It was a neutral world, a cultural archive where dozens of species coexisted to study peace. It was also undefended. When the Zarn Collective, a race of violent conquerors, descended upon the planet, they did so without warning, without mercy. Our protocols forbade conflict. We ran as logic dictated. But one human stayed behind. His name was Commander Jalen Myles. He was not a diplomat, not a scientist. He was a mid-level military escort assigned to protect Virellian researchers. Nothing more than a precaution. He had no obligation to remain. The evacuation orders were clear. Leave immediately. Save what you can. Prioritize high-ranking minds. But Commander Myles refused to leave. "You don't leave people behind," he said. We told him, "But we're not your people." He looked at us and simply said, "Doesn't matter." We could not understand it. Our simulations all showed the same result: 0.04% survival probability if he stayed. Yet he stayed. And then he fought. When the first wave of Zarn warriors broke through the atmospheric shields, Myles activated ancient planetary defense systems long believed obsolete. He rewired shattered panels with bare hands, set traps from research tools, and created barriers out of overturned transports. He was bleeding, exhausted, alone. Still, he fought. For 7 hours, he held them off. The outpost surveillance logs show him carrying wounded Virellians on his back through fire. At one point, he used a broken communications dish to block an entrance, not because it would stop the enemy, but because it might buy 30 more seconds. We watched this in silence, unable to comprehend why. And when our emergency fleet arrived, the battle was over. The Zarn had retreated, temporarily. The ground was scorched, the sky thick with ash. And in the center of it all, among the ruins, stood a broken signal beacon, still transmitting. "This is Commander Jalen Myles. Civilians secured. Don't let them die in the dark." His body was never found, but his voice remained. For the first time in Virellian history, we held a memorial for a non-Virellian, for a species we once labeled primitive. Our scholars debated what to call his actions. Was it irrational bravery, emotional insanity, or something else entirely? In search of clarity, we contacted another human, a psychologist named Dr. Hoa Karen. She had once served alongside Myles, studying the behavioral complexities of human military personnel. When we told her what had happened, how he stayed, how he fought, how he died, she didn't cry. She only nodded. And when we asked why he would do this for us, a species he barely knew, her answer was simple: because he believed some lives are worth more than his own. We still struggle to compute that belief. In our algorithms, self-preservation is always prioritized. In our history, sacrifice is statistical. But this was different. Now, on the ruins of Alaris Prime, we have built no new city, No new lab. The land remains untouched, preserved as it was the day Myles stood alone. In the center, we placed a monument, a bronze figure of a human holding a Virellian child in one arm, reaching toward the stars with the other. The inscription at its base reads, "One life can change the fate of worlds." We teach it to our young now, not as a fable, but as fact. We speak of courage in our classrooms. We speak of humanity in our councils. Because in that moment, when the logic failed and the darkness rose, a human stayed behind. And for the first time, we, the oldest minds in the galaxy, saw something new. Hope.